Hi and welcome everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Fresh Jazzy Sounds. Another episode filled with jazzy vibes from new music released in 2020 or 2021. Let's first put the needle in the groove. We start off with Andy Hay. As you can see from the cover, he does it all himself. So he creates the music, he creates the cover. He is really a unique individual because he wants to hand paint everything. So it is completely homemade in the sense that every cover, every insert, everything is done his own way and the way he likes to bring out his music and how he wants to release the music to the world. He includes a nice booklet, it is hand-sewn for example. He really is disgusted by barcodes and anything commercial, I guess. So to bring his music alive, he is really dependent on people like you and me to support him, to buy his music. And I must say, I'm always intrigued by these people. They have so much creativity in the music, in the way they do their art. It just flows through them. And it's almost like a life in itself that they want to do it this way, and they also do it the way they want to do it, and I really admire those kind of people. So if you like this kind of music, which is jazz music with a jazz vibe, it is not only his playing. So for example, you have tenor sax, you have soprano sax, electric bass, flute, congos, bongos. The drums are of course by Andy Hay himself. He's a jazz drummer. If you like the music, support people like this. This is amazing. Jazz world, you have of course a lot of these people who go their own way. Another great example is Greg Foat. I really admire his music and his way that he is progressing in life and is progressing with his music. Let me first put the record on. This is the released Blue Lotus, and it is again the Greg Foat group. So he has released other albums recently under his own name or working together with other jazz musicians. This is going back to where he started, the Greg Foat group. Maybe you remember, I think it was 2012 when he released Dark is the Sun. This is the same group, or at least quite a few of the members who are playing on it. So I recognize Rob Macht on tenor saxophone, Trevor Walker on flugelhorn, of course Greg Foat. There are now also added new people, especially I have to mention the drums by Morgan Simpson, who is really brings a different vibe to the music. The music by itself has a very different vibe because Greg Foat is much more going from the piano to synth. He has now, I think, an amazing collection of analog synths that is now transpiring to the music and gives the music a different feel. So don't expect something like Dark is the Sun. You get something new, something different. Although if you have Girl and the Robot with Flowers, that already hints a little bit towards the direction this one is going. So you have a much darker vibe on the music, but still, if you like jazzy music, this is a prime example of a UK artist who is going his own way, like Andy Hay, who has a certain vision which they pursue, and you get some amazing music in that way. This time we have a lot of UK music because the next record I want to show is also a UK record, although it is completely going in a different direction. It's much smoother, it's much more soul-like. It is The Secret Night Gang. It's released on Brownswood. So Brownswood is of course connected to Gilles Peterson. You can immediately hear that in the music. You get a vibe much more in the direction of Incognito. That's a band you remember from the 90s. Those were mixing that jazz vibe with the soul, with pop music. This is really, you can play this anytime, anywhere. I think a lot of people will like it. It has not gotten that much attention. It is released last year or the end of last year. It was also very quickly out of press. It has been repressed now. The artists you're getting are Kumana Anderson, who has done much of the writing, together with Colin Connell, who's playing on the strings, and there was another name. Yeah, Stuart Whitehead. And what instrument did he play? I did not see that immediately. But those three have written the music, produced the album, and really give the album a very nice vibe.
Had worn away the glow, the warmth we once felt had gone away. Love has found a new place.
And for the next album, we are going to cross the ocean to the US. An album, I must say, I have missed when it was released original. It was released in 2019, so that's almost 3 years ago, and I have to thank Austin. Austin gave me a tip for this album, and I must say I really like it. It is like the previous album. It is mixing the different genres, moving in between them, and creates their own mix of music. It's Matson 2 present Paradise. So it remembers me a little bit of 80s Christopher Cross, Michael McDonald. They also could move in this direction on certain numbers. They're two brothers. I think they like Hawaiian shirts. I could not find that much information about the band. I think this is their second or third album. Let me read the hype sticker, see if I can get you some more information. No, it just says it's fresh, unique, and totally thrilling. This is really for me Saturday afternoon music. You put this on, you let it float, it grabs your attention. It's not background music, although it's also not something that really stimulates your head and makes you go think and puts you in a different world. No, it's just like they say, paradise. Just music to dream away. For the next album we're crossing again the ocean, or not really. I think it's produced in the US, although it is a band from Germany. People who like 70s music will recognize it immediately. Maybe I should first put it on. See if you recognize a little bit of the music. It's Embryo with Auf Auf. It's amazing. I have not been that much into Embryo. I've just discovered them recently or a few years back, starting to collect their music. Because there is something strange going on with German music, or the German music scene, in the sense, in the 70s with krautrock, they moved also in crowd jazz. They really started to explore the world, and Embryo is really a prime example of this. I mean, we have now Kurangbin and Altungun that incorporates Turkish music or Eastern instruments and Eastern influences. But a band like Embryo was doing that already 30, 40 years ago, and that's amazing. This is their new album. It is released on Madlib's new label Invasion. Of course, there's a strong connection with Egon from Now Again Records. The cover is a little bit, I cannot say disappointing, but it does not really fit the music. You really get something unique if you like that cross between world music, jazz, a little bit of rock, a little bit of funk or soul, because there's a groove to the music. But you also get that little bit of mystery in the music. There's familiarity, there's some unknowns. It's experimental, maybe it's a little bit of prog rock. I mean, there's so much in this music. Typically a record that is moving under the radar of many people, and I can guess a little bit why that is. If you look at the cover, it does not have really the promotion behind it. It is not really commercial, but the musicianship is really amazing. And as we are moving more to the eastern side of the world, with a little bit of psychedelic sounds, it's fun to show this compilation, a wide selection of Turkish jazz and funk. This is a strange collection of singles, Turkish singles from the 70s. It's a bootleg, I think it isn't official. If you look on the back side, it looks very nice, but there are spelling mistakes on names. If you look on the front of the cover, which looks really cool, but you see here Boris Manko, he's not on the album. You see Edip, also at the front of that album, he's not on this album. So it is really more a representation of Turkish music, but then especially the singles, which were unique. I mean, those fetch a lot of money. The music you're getting is a little bit what you're hearing in the background. Psychedelic music, rock music, influences from the Western, meet with the Eastern side of the world. You get that special mix. Only the 70s created this kind of music where people were really experimenting and learning and trying to find new ways to express themselves. As it is the 70s, there's a little bit of funk inside there. I mean, 70s is the year of the funk. I really enjoy this one. If you see it, grab it, or at least listen to it and see if you like it, because there's some unique music on this one. the next album, I have to go to my favorite artist at the moment, and that is Misha Pamfilov. He is releasing, it seems, albums just by, I don't know, every month there is something coming, or I'm exaggerating, but he made so much music in the Corona period during COVID. It seems he was really at the peak of his abilities. He also decided to really full-time become a musician. It's a musician, artist who, like the first album I showed with Andy Hay, who can draw, who has just that special edge. And it seems at the moment he is just, as I said before, at his peak of his abilities. The album is called Center El Muusa. So he does this album together with friends. If I remember correctly, this is the bass player, this is Misha himself, this is the drummer, and then we have one guy left. I don't remember. I think he does the piano and the synth. And Misha, of course, he's playing every instrument you hear on the album. He is so musically talented that I think he can pick up any or instrument he likes and plays on it. Like the music you're hearing. Misha also did a solo album. It is called The Sea Will Outlive Us All. It's a little bit more jazzy, although it has that similar vibe you're hearing on this album. Check out this video where I show his album that is released in September this year. So this is already an album that I'm now playing. Central El Muusa, the Purple Stones, was from the beginning of the year or end of last year. I don't remember exactly. I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.